You know, this would probably be more convincing if my NES wasn't visible behind me.
Super Mario Bros., the game that invented side-scrollers, platformers, and decent pack-in games.
Apologies to all Duck Hunt fans. Not Driver Fight fans, though. Y'all are just objectively wrong.
How much of an introduction do I actually have to give this game? It's the first real game in the biggest game series ever made. It's still in the top 10 best-selling video games of all time. It restarted an industry that has taken over the majority of our world, and Nintendo has gone out of their way to ensure that no man, woman, child, or non-determinate being can't play it.
Hey, who are you calling non-determinate?
Primarily designed by Shigeru Miyamoto and Takashi Tezuka, Super Mario Bros. Is the sequel to Mario Bros., much in the same way a cake is the sequel to a pie. The games have very little in common, honestly, outside of turtles and two humans. I guess there are also pipes, but by that logic, Sonic the Hedgehog is a sequel to RoboCop because they both feature robots and death.
Well, okay, that's not really fair. Also, can we maybe tone down the non-sequiturs? This isn't up is not jump. I hate how you can pretty much always tell from my script which YouTubers I've been watching most recently.
So, what's the story here? Well, if you have the manual, you can learn more about the grand plot of this game. I don't. To be fair, there's really not much story in the game. Like, let's just head this off at the pass. Pretty much every 2D game in the series, you can sum up the plot in like 2 sentences. Here it's, an evil turtle kidnapped a princess, go save her. That's all you need. What the fuck is a failed horsehair plant? This, apparently.
Well, that explains everything.
Alright, I'm done stalling. Let's actually play this game. Fun fact, I played the Super Mario Bros. And Duck Hunt combo pack on an original NES for this, as well as the Switch Online release. But hey, I could have played the SMB, Duck Hunt, and World Class Track Meet combo pack, which I do also have. I don't own a Zapper or a Power Pad. These are basically just 2 copies of Super Mario Bros.
Why does this have my NES collection?
Well, so let's get the presentation out of the way first. And yes, I know that criticizing an NES game's graphics is never a good look, but I was never pretty to begin with, and neither is this game. It's not terrible, it's distinct enough, and it does the job, but that's about all it does. I mean, compare this game to later NES games, and it's pretty clear that the console could give us better graphics. To be fair, the game was fairly early in the NES's lifespan, so it makes sense, and I don't think it's some big problem with the game, but it is still there, especially if you're playing on an original system.
Because everyone still has an original NES.
The music is kind of in a similar boat to me, honestly. I know, criticizing Koji Kondo's original Mario score is basically sacrilege, and the game's tunes are genuinely great, nice and catchy, but they are incredibly simple, and there are only like 5 tracks for the full game. Also, I know this is almost certainly a technical limitation, but a lot of the sound effects cut out part of the music, including the coins.
I mean, who collects coins in a Mario game anyway?
Okay, enough delays, let's play the actual damn game. And it's Super Mario Bros. Hold B to run, press A to jump, hold right to go right, and hold left to go a little bit left. Yes, the most unique feature of the original Mario now is that while you can scroll the screen to the right as you play, you can't scroll it to the left at all. It's definitely a bit of a limitation of the original engine, and it can be a bit hard to adjust to if you're coming over from more recent games, but I don't know, there's some interesting challenge to the fact you can't back up too much. I can't tell you how many times I've accidentally knocked a mushroom back past the point of no return. Other than that, getting hit always turns you into Small Mario even if you have a Fire Flower. There's no such thing as one-way platforms. Oh, if you collect a Fire Flower while you're still Small Mario, you just become Super Mario instead of Fire Mario.
Look, the point is there aren't exactly a ton of unique features in this game compared to the sequels. It's the baseline for Mario games. Just move to the right and get to the end. Maybe take a few shortcuts or find a few secrets, and that's it. This is a very simple game in the grand scope of the series. Hell, I came into this playthrough expecting to say there's not much reason to play this game compared to later entries, and I mean, maybe in some ways that's true. However, there is one important thing that this game has that more recent games don't have. Quick, simple fun.
It's almost hard to believe just how much fun I had with this game. Yes, it's very simple, but that almost helps with the game's gameplay loop. There's no saving, no loading, and the only way to start in the later world is to either get a game over and use a quick cheat code, or to beat the game and then never turn it off, though even then that's more for the unlockable hard mode. However, you don't lose all too much if you have to turn the game off. Introducing the Warp Rooms, quick secrets at the end of 1-2 and 4-2 that let you skip ahead to later worlds. I've seen some people argue that these are somehow harmful to the game, like it's incentivizing people to play the game less.
I've also seen a federal criminal show me his panic room.
Yeah, these are actually kind of a genius feature, at least for a game without a save feature. It lets the player quickly get back up to whatever level they were last on, whether they had to turn the game off or they just got a game over. It might be the first ever quality of life feature, honestly, at least in a Nintendo game. It definitely helps that the first one and 1-2 is fairly easy to find, at least once you realize you can walk in front of the score. Man, that must have been magical for the first people who played this game.
Honestly, it's not all that shabby nowadays.
There are also some small things that are actually kind of impressive for the time, like the balance lifts in 3-3, 4-3, and 6-3. I realize that it probably isn't actually all that advanced, but it definitely feels a bit more advanced than you would expect for the time. Similar story with the springs, or jumping boards as they're called here. Though they are a bit more finicky than I prefer, they still offer up a bit of a different challenge.
Okay, what else? Do you want to talk about the Toad fake outs? Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, there's not a lot for me to talk about. This is a very simple game at the end of the day, but it's still definitely fun. Still, it's pretty short. If you're good at it, you can beat it within like an hour. Less if you're using the warp rooms. So, what's next? Mario 2, huh? Which one?